Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday morning. Wake your ass up. It's the extra point. You know what time it is. Your host, Mr. P.L. Colter, at your service. Flanked by my hitmakers. Got the squad in the house today. Under center, in the middle square, we have Miss Tasha T. Sizzle, our international sports correspondent, all the way from the Himalayas. How are you doing today, T. Sizzle?
Todo bien, papi. Buen día, mi day.
All right, and and business to you too. How about that? That's all right. And playing wide out today in the X position, we got him making his return to the TEP. One of the contributors and writers on the show behind the scenes, Mr. Michigan Mike, Michael Hassol. What's going on, Michigan Mike?
What's up? Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. And we're gonna see how happy you ought to be back once we get through a couple of these topics because we feel like fighting today. But before we do that, Miss Tasha T. Sizzle, can you please let us know who this show is sponsored by?
It is sponsored by Made Janes Coffee. That's Maejanes Coffee. You get your Colombian, your Honduran, and your Brazilian blend coffee freshly ground by my daughter, Denise. She also has coffee beans. So if you want to grind your coffee yourself, you can also do that. We all have our Made Janes this morning. Mine is in a styrofoam cup. Theirs are a little fancy. They have their mugs. All my things are still packed up, but I will be in the click. But of course, as always, support her. She is a young entrepreneur and she needs the money. And again, I have to keep her off the pole. So yes, please buy Made Janes Coffee. Maejanes Coffee.com.
And as she said, and I will repeat, every cup sold keeps her sister off the pole. Come on, y'all. Let's do it for the culture.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt like that.
Hey, you know what, Mike?
Yes.
You are in the t-shirt business. Hook a brother up. Every cup sold keeps a sister off the pole. That's how we do it right here at the TEP. I'm loving the gear that you got on there, Michigan Mike. Now, also,
I made nails.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. You ready for game time? But
Yeah.
she's not just a sponsor and a friend and family of the show. She's also a recent birthday girl celebrating her birthday. So we want to wish Miss Denise the happiest of happy birthdays. And also,
Cumpleaños feliz.
and then you already got an order, Mike. Hey, Feliz cumpleaños, Miss Denise, and keep doing what you are doing. Also, make sure you use the promo code Extra1. That's XTRA and the number 1 to get your discount. I do it. I get my discount. I got my coffee going. I have a great buzz, and we're ready to get this thing started. But before we get into some sports, can y'all please just allow me to go on a little rant real quick, please? Shouts out to Mr. Brandon Lewis checking in. Oh, you stick around, Brandon. You got some explaining to do about these owners of yours. We're gonna get into your sooners a little bit later, Brandon. So thanks for checking in. Make sure you stay tuned in. A couple of weeks ago, Gen Z had started the whole Drake versus Kanye deal, and I was okay with that. I was okay with that. Let them have their little fun, with the two artists having their albums coming out at the same time. But Gen Z done lost their damn mind now. They done gone a step too far. Now they coming for the king. They're coming for the king, and this time I am not talking about LeBron James or Derrick Henry. Do you know that Gen Z had the audacity on social media this week to say that one Drizzy Drake is now bigger than one king of pop, Michael Jackson, in Michael's prime? To that, T. Sizzle, you say what? T. Sizzle, get you a sip of coffee. Come on now. Look, we let you have your little Drake week with Kanye, but don't be coming for the king of pop. Now that's just
almost lost my whole life.
Mike, what do you say to that? Drake versus the king of pop.
I think honestly, Gen Z is just a whole bunch of trollers, and they're just trying to get an uptick from everyone else. There's no way. I think I saw that too, and I was like, this has to be a joke. One of those things that people just get for comments.
Oh, okay.
I think
Like
that's. I think.
challenge.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. It's not even close. It's not even in the same. It's not even the same. Like, no.
It's not. It's not. Tasha T. Sizzle, have you gathered your thoughts yet? She hasn't. Her daughter will say it best. Drake could never. As a matter of fact, wake me up when Drake does a show in Bucharest, or when Drake does a show down there with them kangaroos and stuff. Where's that? Australia?
Or Drake shows some dance moves. How about that? How about let's start there?
Or wake me up. You're at a show in Europe and everybody's passed out and crying.
Right. If you see Drake at Starbucks, you're not passing out. You're just not.
Remember, they used to fall out and cry. I mean, they getting pulled, just airlifted out of stadiums when Mike was performing. No one will ever be at that level.
No one. And two more things, and then we'll move on to some sports. One, Michael Jackson would have more people surrounding his hotel than Drake could fill an arena with. That's number one. Remember he dangling little baby Jacko off the side of it was 1 million people outside.
Yes. Full blanket.
If Mike came out the grave today and put on the show, Drake would have to open for him. He would not open for anyone.
That's all he can do, and do that. Well, you can't see my leg. I'm doing my leg. Michael Jackson leg. That's all he got to do.
I was like, who's panting in here? I thought I said, get your slippers and get out of here. You know what? I'm just kidding, y'all. Man. I am just kidding. Let's move on to some sports, y'all. No, before we do, Tasha, favorite Michael Jackson song of all time?
Oh, Smooth Criminal and Man in the Mirror.
Okay, Man in the Mirror. So you can Smooth Criminal in the Mirror. Mike, your favorite Michael Jackson song?
I'm a millennial. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go with Love Never Felt So Good or Beat It.
Okay, because what y'all don't know behind the scenes, Michael got his name because he was conceived during the playing of Lady in My Life.
You'll always be the lady in my life.
PYT is a banger, Denise. My personal favorite is Remember the Time, and We Shall Move On. I just had to put some respect on Michael's name. I couldn't let the Gen Z go out like that. Now, it's a college football day. It's college football Saturday. We're getting you prepped for all things college. It's going to be a college-heavy day today. Yeah. But I want to start out with a question that sweeps the nation every year around this time as we get into conference play. Who's the better conference, the Big Ten or the SEC? Now, before I throw it to my esteemed panel, I want to throw out a couple of numbers here for the people out there that's watching. One, the Big Ten right now has 6 teams in the top 25. The SEC has 7 teams in the top 25. They both have 3 teams in the top 10. Tasha, go.
Ranking to me does not really mean anything unless you're in the Final Four. All of that other can go out the window. I mean, we're getting good looks. You know, Penn State is looking good, but Penn State always looks good in the beginning, and then they have that one loss that they start going downhill after that.
The avalanches, yeah.
Yes, Iowa surprisingly. I mean, Iowa came out of nowhere, but Iowa has a pretty good defense this year that's, boosting them up. But other than that, with the other team being, losing and knocked down, Wisconsin is going to play Notre Dame tonight. Until the Big Ten actually wins something, as much of a Big Ten girl as I am, until you knock off Alabama, you see, and the SEC is basically heavily depending on Alabama and Georgia. They're the top 2 right now.
And they are the top 2 right now. Michigan Mike, you say what as you're draped out in Michigan garb?
I mean, I agree with what Tasha said, most of it. The top 2 teams, SEC, Alabama, Georgia, and then the rest of the SEC is kind of, in my opinion, weak. If you take a collective conference,
you said weak.
I said weak.
Let's roll. Okay, let's go.
If you take a collective of the top 5 Big Ten teams against the top 5 of the SEC teams, I think majority Big Ten will win 3-2 out of those matchups.
Okay, now, give us those matchups.
Well, of course, you got Alabama, Georgia, A&M,
Florida,
Ole Miss. Yeah. And then for the Big Ten, you would have Iowa, Penn State, Ohio, Wisconsin, and Michigan. I would actually probably put Michigan State over Wisconsin, in my opinion.
I like what Michigan State's doing this year, by the way.
They're undefeated. They're undefeated. Yeah,
they look tough. While you sitting there in your Sparty green.
Right.
Jamaica,
like, do we got a spy on the team?
Jamaica.
Oh, okay. You done turned on Sha'Carri. Let's. All right, now keep going, Mike.
So as a collective conference, I would say the Big Ten is stronger, but to agree with Tasha, it's always hard to go against history and saying like, oh no, we're the better conference. Like, but you haven't really beat us at our top performers yet. Yeah, Penn State beat Auburn, but is Auburn a top SEC contender? So then you have to kind of weigh those options there. Can a top Big Ten team beat a top SEC team when it comes to Alabama or Georgia this year? I don't believe so. But I think we can go neck and neck with them, and it would be a close game.
I'm gonna go with the SEC by a hair, and I was trying to compartmentalize it to this year. I'm not as sold on Georgia as everybody else is. I feel like Georgia's like Penn State. Once they get tripped up by Florida or by Texas A&M or somebody, they just spiral. And even if they get to the SEC championship game, I don't think they got anything for Alabama. The Big Ten, my problem with the Big Ten is the hurt and pain of my Michigan Wolverines that skews my vision. When I think back to the last time Michigan won a championship, 97, the SEC teams that have won a championship since then, it was Tennessee in 98. There's been Alabama, of course, Auburn with Cam Newton, Florida twice with Tim Tebow. Georgia's been in the mix. LSU won with Joe Burrow. Like, they have spread out. Like, there's been other teams other than Alabama that's won the championship. And with Michigan, it's been Ohio State a bust as far as the Big Ten is concerned. I think Michigan, as much as I love my Go Blue, is the reason why the Big Ten is going to lag behind the SEC. We got to knock off Ohio State and put our own name in that playoff so that we can have a more well-rounded roster and not just have to play bottom feeder versus bottom feeder.
I think their lower caliber teams, like you said, the bottom feeders. Taking out Vanderbilt. I'm sorry, Vanderbilt. Taking out Vanderbilt, how would they fare against a Maryland and a Rutgers we play today? They're undefeated now, but how would they stack up against playing a Mississippi State or who else is a lower tier team? I mean, even Tennessee. How would they fare against a team like that?
Now, I like if Michigan State and UT played this tonight on a neutral field. I like Michigan State giving up the points. So to Mike's point, I think when you look down the tiers of the rosters, I think that if it was like an ACC Big Ten challenge like in basketball, the Big Ten may come out with more wins. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about dominance over a sustained period of time, the SEC has pretty much set the gold standard. And until somebody knocks off Ohio State and really makes a play in the playoffs, it's going to be hard for me to put the Big Ten as a conference in football ahead of the SEC.
I think it's tough.
It is the truth. And if Michigan State keeps winning, Brandon, he's going to be in the Heisman hunt.
Right.
Mike, you say what?
I was going to say it's kind of similar to our basketball conference, the Big Ten. Like, it's very strong throughout the season, but I think this year we're going to be beating each other up. There's a lot of good matchups this year towards the end of the season, and I think it's going to come down to we might beat each other out of the playoff, to be honest, unless someone runs the table like a Michigan or a Penn State or something like that. But, I mean, these are tough matchups. Penn State against Michigan, and then potentially Michigan versus Iowa, like.
And we have Wisconsin next. If Wisconsin knocks off Notre Dame and then Michigan beats them, it goes to your point. We're just knocking each other out from keeping up into the top five.
Which is what generally happens in the SC. They knock each other out.
Right.
Unless you're Alabama, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Other than Alabama, of course. Now, keeping it with the theme of college football, I remember the after the first half of the Ohio State Minnesota game to start the season, Michigan Mike, you hit me up and you was like, I'm not sold on Ohio State's defense. Apparently, neither is Ryan Day because he done snatched play calling away from the defensive coordinator already.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why we're going here is because Ohio State and Clemson both won last week and dropped in the polls. Ohio State dropped 1 spot. Clemson dropped 3 spots in the poll after a win. My question to you is, now they sit right now at 9 and 10. Whoa, that's on the outside looking in this late in the season. Are there 8 teams better than Ohio State and Clemson? Or do you think the committee is sending a message this year with barely squeaking by and looking like boo-boo on the way to a victory?
That's a good question. In my opinion, I think they are sending a message, and the message is both of those teams, Clemson and Ohio, historically, when they play these teams, they've been blowing them out, right? Like 63-3, 63-10, kind of like Michigan's doing right now. But this year,
that in there, Tasha.
but this year they're actually showing blood and cuts before it's even October, and so with that, they're saying, wait. For our championship teams, our Final Fours, they've been dominating teams early on. Now we're seeing that y'all are losing or giving up this amount of points. I think they have some type of calculation that they're doing, and they're like, nah, y'all ain't it. To answer your question, I don't believe in Cincinnati. I honestly, I'm not one of those not top fives trying to get in. Like, no. If you're going to try to get in with a weak schedule, at least put a couple, not just one, but like 2 from different conferences in the non-conference play. I don't believe in Cincinnati. I think Ohio can beat Cincinnati. I think Clemson can beat Cincinnati.
What about the Iowas, the Penn States, and the TAMUs that's right ahead of them?
I do think that Iowa and Penn State can beat Ohio. Now, can it be those random at-home games at night? Something crazy happens, last-second field goal? Of course. In my opinion, Iowa and Penn State have a better team than Ohio. And, of course,
Sizzle. Are there 8 teams better than Clemson and Ohio State, in your opinion?
I'm kind of with the Cincinnati thing. Again, every year you always have the one Cinderella team that just comes out of nowhere and has this phenomenal season but doesn't do anything. Cincinnati is really trying hard to prove that they belong in the Big 12. I don't think their success this season is worthy of being even in. I hate to say that. I'm have to go what's current and not what's off of history. But with things with Clemson, their slip is starting to show. Clemson thought that they were Bama ACC. They thought that they could lose players and just replace them with what they have on their roster. That offensive line is crappy.
Yes.
So they want to see like, the quarterback, they're going to try to, of course, compare the new quarterback. I can't pronounce his last name with old Sunshine. Ukulele. Him, that little boy. But okay, I'm sorry.
You doing coffee? Tasha, come get your mama.
Want me to get some fresh coffee grinds out here and just eat? But
you snort them. She said ukulele. Yes, DJ.
I knew the DJ part.
Go ahead.
I couldn't pronounce his last name. But the offensive line is
right. Brandon said, just say DJ, Tasha.
Yes, DJ. The line is not the same as when Sunshine was there. So it's different. And you all know my theory is when the day that Urban Meyer left, I said he's still coaching that team. He has his own problems down there in Jacksonville, so he cannot coach the team anymore. So
he does.
They're not performing. And I mean, my conspiracy theory is kind of being proven.
It is. Now, I have a conspiracy theory of my own as well. And it goes right along those lines. I think that the College Football Playoff Committee has gotten tired of Dabo Luther the King always side talking and slick talking the committee about his team's position. Oh, they hate us. Oh, they don't want us in there. Oh, they don't think we're this. So we're going to go out here and we're going to just beat these teams down. Oh, they don't want to see it. He would always try to create a narrative that the College Football Playoff Committee is against them to kind of pressure them to keep them in like even though we knew they were in the worst football conference in the country. So, you know, he would do a lot of slick talking and he'd get in the playoffs, win a couple of games, and now he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think now the committee's like, okay, now y'all look like doo-doo. Now
that whole conference looks
bad. Gonna drop you for real.
The whole conference.
They look bad. Like,
the conference looks bad.
Pac-12 looks better than they do right now.
Much better. So, do you still think that both of those teams have a chance to play in the college football playoff?
Ain't no way.
Lord Jesus, let that be the case. Tasha, Clemson done?
They baked and burnt done.
Oh, really?
Because again, if you go off of conference play and everything that Dabo was on, their conference is down as a whole. So what win do you have that's going to propel you over another? Even let's say Cincinnati runs the gamut and by chance they're in the mix at the end of the season. What argument can you give to say that we're better than Cincinnati? Because the schedule goes out the window now. Right.
Now, I should say stick to your guns, College Football Playoff Committee. If they look shaky against North Carolina State today, which they very well could, talking about Clemson, drop them some more. Get them down there in the teens. Get them out of here. We only got 4 teams in the playoffs, and the casual fan is suffering from playoff fatigue of seeing the same 3-4 teams in there. Get them out of there. Move up Penn State. Move up Iowa. Move up BYU. Move up anybody. TAMU, anybody but them. Shouts out to Stephanie Colter checking in. Now, let's move over to Michigan because there are 2 stats about Michigan that really just jumped off the page and slapped me across my face, and I really couldn't believe it. And I watched every snap of every game this year. 1, Michigan is leading the whole country in rushing. 2, their sophomore tailback, Blake Corum, is leading all position players, non-quarterbacks, with 8 touchdowns. 3, the University of Michigan has not turned the ball over this year yet in 3 games. On the surface, that's a recipe for a college football playoff run. But this is 2021, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 2021. And you traditionally don't see teams win like that in today's game. Mike, you draped out a Michigan garb. Let's start with you on this.
Man.
Can Michigan keep this up without throwing the damn ball?
So, you know, we've been kind of going back and forth off the line on this one. With Harbaugh being the coach, we're like, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? And what is he doing? I think, man, maybe he ends up being the smartest person in the world by making this move, because what we're seeing is every season or every week we're saying like their opponent has one weakness and it's the D line or the front 7. Oh, they have a weak front 7. Oh, they have a weak D line. We're just going to run the ball. Oh, wait, what team does have a good front 7? You know, I mean, there's a handful of teams right now in the country that have a good front line and some good linebackers. And it just points out like everyone's going that spread offense. And so doing so, you don't necessarily have to draft or get the best running backs or the best O linemen.
And you don't need a 300-pound defensive tackle if you're always playing against teams just spreading the ball out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it works out in Michigan's favor. And the funny thing to your question is that we can still pass the ball. Do we have our star receiver? No, he got hurt, right? No. So Ronnie Bell got hurt. He's out for the season. But we showed the speed that we have, and they can turn it on. So we haven't even shown our pass game yet, which is going to help us out towards the end of the season and into the potential playoff.
Tasha, did you see how Mike spruced up during this segment?
I know. He was like, look alive there.
He had a little snort of that May James. Woo! All right.
Man, I do this all day talking about Michigan.
Tasha T. Sizzle, can Michigan win a Big Ten title on the ground?
I think that's the only way they're going to be able to do it. You know, just kind of piggybacking off of Mike with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike Bell being out, the other receivers had to step in and they had to up and perform. But Corey I think he has 407 yards on the season. Mike, you the facts. You can look. He has 407 yards on the season.
See in that stat book, y'all.
I like that.
But then you go back and look. They always say, "Oh, the schedule is the beginning of the season. Have they really played anybody?" Okay, they played who first game? Western Michigan. Western Michigan has gone on and they beat Pitt. Okay. Northern Illinois beat Georgia Tech, who is actually living up to their name, the Rolling Wreck, but they Clemson a run for their money.
Sure did.
So do you count those Washington is kind of going down a little bit, but how high do you hold those victories against those lower level teams against what we have coming? Like I said, we got Rutgers today, which is undefeated. Then we have Wisconsin the next week. I just hope we don't get caught looking ahead of Wisconsin and we screw up.
Lord. I didn't even think about that. Right.
Be a victory, what should be a victory over Rutgers. I think once we start getting into the meat of the schedule, paying the Wisconsin, got to play Iowa. We do have this school at home this year, which is the end of the be all. But we need to be undefeated by the time we get to that game. I mean, do you guys think that's a possibility? We still have little brother U. We still have all of that we still have to play. And State is playing ball. They kind of like Michigan, kind of playing lower level type teams, but they're looking good while they're doing it. That's how we put up, 63 last week? That's how much you're supposed to put up against teams that are not supposed to be at your level.
We need to see your third string quarterback when you play in Northern Illinois and things like that. Yeah.
Right. We need to see somebody that had a clipboard and the headsets on the field.
Now, Brandon isn't sold. He says y'all real test will be Michigan State. Y'all haven't played nobody looking at the schedule. Now, as a non-Michigan fan, I can receive that. We haven't. But the one thing that I would like to say in Michigan's favor, those yards they're accumulating, it's not 3 yards in a pile of dust like back in the Bo Schembechler days. Corum is hitting off 60, 70, 80-yard runs. Hassan Haskins is hitting off 50, 60, 70-yard runs. Like, you bring the quarterback in and the backup, he hands the ball off. The guy runs 80 yards. What do you do?
The thing about that comment is we're not just covering or winning the games. We're not just covering the spread. We're destroying the spread.
We're supposed
to be Oklahoma
there. They said we were going to beat by Washington by like 10 points. Let's see what happened. So
Brandon, if you're available, I'll send you a link so we can ask you about Oklahoma tonight and last week.
Right.
Go ahead,
you think about it now, how when Harbaugh first got there, the defense was keeping us in the games. All of us were screaming and crying. We don't have. You had Shea Patterson. You had all these quarterbacks that were not being productive on the offensive side. Now we got all the offense going, and it's making me happy. It's making me feel good.
And I like that these quarterbacks that played for Michigan going to different teams and around the country try it out. The fear is that, man, maybe Harbaugh just can't coach a quarterback like he's supposed to. But all these quarterbacks going to different places, they end up starting and then they slowly end up dropping. So, I mean, you can see that in Wilton Spate and Brandon Peters got hurt too. But, JoJo himself.
Free JoJo. They didn't just
Tate Forcier. What was his name? What was Forcier's first name? What's his name?
Tate Forcier.
Tate, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. So, we may have a special guest pop on here before the end of the show. They said they have to get ready, so we'll see about that. Now let's move on to the NFL for a second because we're rolling into week 3, and looking at week 1 and 2, there was a couple of Jekyll and Hyde teams out there that I'm totally confused on who the hell they really are. Now, you two, I'm going to trust y'all's judgment on that. Y'all help me sort through this. Help the people sort through this. Is the team that I'm going to present to you more like the team that got smoked or the team that did the smoking? So let's start right here with my beloved Tennessee Titans. Now, in week 1, They got mud stomped by the Arizona Cardinals at home, got booed out of the stadium. How you get booed out the stadium in the home opener? And last year was COVID with no fans in the stands. Now you know you made them fans mad. They didn't
paid all this money, these parking passes, walked over that bridge.
Back in my neck feeling dirty and gritty, and y'all can't make a first down. I digress. So Tennessee goes out to Seattle, one of the toughest places to play the next week. Derrick Henry looked like 2,000-yard Derrick Henry. The team is getting sacks, turnovers. They erase a 14-point deficit in the fourth quarter and get an overtime win. I'm confused. This Jekyll Hyde team got me confused. Mike, is this team more like the week 1 team we saw or the week 2 team we saw?
I'm going to go with week 2. It might be fandom there, but I think week 1, they just had to get the cobwebs out and got to beat up a little bit. You know, when you get that first punch in, you're like, oh, you're for real. Okay, let's go. I think
they did get punched.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Week 2, for sure, they should be a strong team for the rest of the year.
Okay, Tasha, what say you?
Week 1. Because you know that win was a win that was aided by a couple of controversial calls out there.
We ain't talking about no calls today.
So let's not go there. If they lose to Indy, I think Indy's going to come out and play hard because Indy always plays the Titans hard. If they beat the Titans are going to go down. Remember, I picked Indy to win the division.
What I hate about your analysis is the fact that when in the booth, we must tell the truth. And the truth is the road team, which Indianapolis is this Sunday, has won the last 6 games in that rivalry. And you can throw out the records when those two teams play. Sometimes Tennessee has no business winning up in Indy and they win. Or Indy has no business winning down in Nashville and they win. I am very concerned about this game. This is a hot pick, so we'll get y'all official takes to close the show. But I'm very, very nervous about this game. They seem, for some reason, to have Tennessee's number in Nashville. We shall see about that. All right, let's go to Green Bay. Week 1, they look like the worst thing since Vanderbilt on a football field. Aaron Rodgers had his worst week ever that I remember seeing. Stop it, Tasha. And then in week 2, he comes out, throws 4 touchdowns. Devontae Adams goes off for 150 yards receiving. The running back, Aaron Jones, gets 4 touchdowns. They look like the same team that goes to the NFC Championship every year. Mike, who do you believe? Week 1 Green Bay or week 2 Green Bay?
Man, this is tough for me. I mean, because honestly, it all goes down to what Aaron Rodgers wants to do. Like, he's obviously shown that he can control that team. And maybe he was like, hey, y'all promised me to let me go after this season or make the adjustments in writing, and I'll go ahead and get these amount of wins. And they're like, I don't think you could still do it. And he's like, watch this. So
you think this is more about Aaron Rodgers trying to prove his haters more than trying to win a game?
It's always been about that for him. So that's why it's hard for me to say. If I had to choose, I would go for the winning Packers just because they have the talent, obviously. I mean, they've shown that they have the talent, offense and defense. So I'm going to go. They have what it takes to get it up to the NFC Championship for sure.
Tasha, you say what? They play your San Francisco 49ers this week.
I'm just going to go with week 2 because, as Mike said, it's almost as if Rodgers is toying with them. Now, the first game, I was thinking, is it fixed? Like, what's going on? I knew their rhythm and everything else was right. But you think he was doing jump passes, which is something Aaron Rodgers never has had to do, has never done and never had to do. But I thought that was akin to the fact that he wasn't in camp. He didn't get the repetitions and everything with the team, with the receivers, and with the counts off with the line and everything. But they looked good last week. But again, they were playing the Lions. But I digress. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out like a punk. He's gonna say, okay.
No, keep going.
Cut.
I'm sorry. I ain't no fucking teaser. Keep it on. No, keep on talking. Sorry.
You got to show them receipt.
Right.
I mean, I think this Aaron Rodgers is used to seeing, what we're accustomed to seeing, and I think this is the Aaron Rodgers that we're going to keep seeing and a Green Bay team that I think we will continue to see.
Y'all, week 1 Green Bay is going to be the Green Bay we remember at the end of the season because Aaron Rodgers is going to sink this ship. I don't think they're going to beat San Francisco this week. I think in week 2, I think they were down 17-14 at the halftime, and then Jared Goff went full-scale Jared Goff on us, started fumbling the ball in the rain, turning the ball over deep in their own territory. Rodgers was throwing those quick hitches out to the running back so he can run up those numbers and have some good stats. His ass is out there looking like John Wick in John Wick 3, looking old and walking all like this.
He's still looking for his dog.
With our matching man buns.
Right, with the matching man bun. You know what I'm saying? And he looked like the time is ticking on him. And I really do think that he knows he's not coming back. And when you start running up against the Bradys, you start running up against the Rams, and you run up. And yes, I said it, them Cowboys.
I knew you were going to
run up against these young quarterbacks. They're gonna put them hands on them, and the Green Bay is out of here. They out of here. We gonna now. Let's move on to the team that put them hands on them in week 1, New Orleans, and we're gonna put this as a package deal. New Orleans and Jameis Winston. Week 1, he threw over 4 or 5 touchdowns. They stomped Green Bay in Jacksonville. They come back in week 2. He looks like Tampa Bay Jameis, and they lose to Carolina. Which one do you believe? Week 1, New Orleans and Jameis, or week 2, New Orleans and Jameis?
You going with me
Me
first?
or Mike?
Oh, go ahead. Just roll with it.
I'm gonna go. Oh, man, I don't believe in the Saints, and you know me. Like I haven't really believed in the Saints in a while. I didn't really believe that Jameis was going to come back and start slinging the ball like he did in week 1. But I'm gonna go with week 2 Saints. I don't see them doing well throughout the whole season. I see them as one of those teams that starts crumbling and then will continue to crumble. But definitely not. I see this as a week 2 Saints team.
Tasha T. Sizzle, what say you about Nowlands?
I see it as a combination of both, if that's even answer that I'm allowed to give. I think it depends on who they're playing and whether or not Jameis keeps this thing going, because Jameis, even though he couldn't run through the blockers on that one viral clip that we saw, Jameis has transformed himself. And I think he realizes now that this ain't no MF and play toy. He's got to do what he needs to do. You know, I think he's matured, and I think he's realizing I got a great coach in Peyton, who's a quarterback coach. I sat there and I had to learn behind the quarterback, Drew Brees. So I think he has something to prove this year. And then how they tried to do him wrong, tried to taste ill in front of him when Breeze got hurt and all that, but they had already moved Teddy Bridgewater out. But I think it's a combination of both. It's kind of hard, down there with that voodoo down there in New Orleans. I don't know.
I'm going to say week 2, New Orleans, for one simple reason, because I think the NFC West is so stacked that the only route that New Orleans has to get into the playoffs is the wild card, and the wild card is going to be sold up with the West. They got Arizona, Seattle, the Rams, and San Francisco. I don't think that they're going to be able to cut through all of those teams, and I don't think that they'll be able to overtake Tampa Bay for the division. Now, we're going to bring in last week's guest, Mr. Brandon Lewis. We got him in the house, and since we have you in the house, Mr. Brandon, we want to double back on something since we got you right here on the air. Okay. You said that the SEC is better than the Big Ten, correct?
Correct.
Why is that?
Because I'm going. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Oh no, I'm not. Right. I'm not sold on that. Remember? But no, I think honestly, the SEC is a much better conference overall. Like I'm talking all sports, not just
tread lightly.
Because Kentucky has not been. Okay, I digress. Go ahead.
Started on their swim team.
I don't think y'all. I think you guys are just looking at the major sports, as in basketball, football. I'm talking overall. I'm talking about softball, baseball, all that.
Michigan's women's softball and the men's basketball team have been very good in these last few years. What you trying to say there?
Okay, who won a national championship this year?
Oh, I know clank
Talking
clank.
about 1 year.
Mississippi State, hell state clank a clank.
As far as
Hey, where you set her up on that one, Brandon?
But my money was that school, so I'm gonna always cheer for them.
Of course you have to. It's your daughter. Of course you have to. You support regardless if you like it or not.
Now, okay, so I wanted you to be able to get that out on Wags. But let's ask you a question. Last week, you got Nebraska that took y'all to the wire. They took a OBJ interception with the one hand to seal that victory. Tonight, you have West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned, and should you be concerned with the Mountaineers this week?
Honestly, just being factual, yes, I am concerned. I'll be at the game actually, so I can give you more insight on that after the game. But yes, because I mean, we already have people calling for Spencer Rattler to go. I feel like since the NIL came into play, people are not as focused. I mean, you can't use that as an excuse, of course, but he got to realize, he has so much hype on his back, and people are depending on him to perform as, all the preseason stuff, out there saying that, he was a Heisman hopeful, he's going to win all these different awards, but he's not playing as that Spencer Rattler. Somebody made a comment on one of the groups that I'm in, and they said, maybe we should sit Spencer out for a game and do like he did last year, and he was on fire after that.
Michigan Mike, are you sold on the University of Oklahoma?
Heck no. And to go off of what he said about Michigan not playing anybody, we do play Nebraska, and we will destroy Nebraska. However, Oklahoma can't say that they destroyed Nebraska. Mike? Huh?
Say it with your chest. I see it.
I'm just saying they showed their weakness against a weak Big Ten team, so I'm gonna go with no.
You're not sold. Tasha, what about you with Oklahoma?
The only reason I'm sold is because the rest of the football is just turned upside down. You don't have your cheating Clemsons up there. You don't have your cheating Ohio's up there. It's set up for OU, and if they don't put it off or go to the Final Four this year,
look, you better get them out the way now. Now, we want to say what's up to the friend of the show, Mr. Stephen Hassel. UTSA going to be big ball. Mike, I'll let you answer that question.
San Antonio.
UTSA always puts up a fight against big teams early on. I think last year or 2 years ago, they went neck and neck with Texas, so they always have a good chance.
Shouts out to Mr. Hassel checking in. Thanks for checking in. Now, I have Oklahoma in my college football playoffs with my initial preseason picks. I am worried about the defense more so the offense. I mean, Spencer Rattler, he had some shaky performances, but to see Nebraska go up and down the field in the second half of that game worried me. And West Virginia, I think that they're going to be able to get whatever they want on the ground and through the air as well. I don't think they're going to do Oklahoma. I still think Oklahoma comes out on that one on top.
But that's the Achilles heel of the Big 12 as a whole. It's the defense. It's their lack of defense. Because how many times do we up until they put those Big 12 numbers up? If when the score is just odd,
right?
OU has got to find some sort of defense if they're really on a, especially if going into the SEC.
I think
you can't go in the SEC and not play defense.
I think the ACC and the Big 12 look very identical right now, with Clemson and OU being kind of like their top people. And honestly, what Tasha was saying, OU has who left that's relatively ranked, Iowa State. And I think they have Kansas State, but that's at 25, and they'll drop off eventually. So I don't really count that one. But, I mean, there's not really anybody top ranked.
So Oklahoma, that's your chance. Like, you're sitting there, at 5, I believe?
No, they're 4. They're 4.
Yeah, they got to be able to score.
Well, we have seen them drop people. I don't think they're going to be dropping Oklahoma because of lack of scoring. I think they'll be able to score the ball. But it's going to be interesting to see. But while I have you here, I want to go back to another NFL topic. We're in cowboy country down here. Well, everywhere is cowboy country. It's America's team. Let's keep that real.
He ain't lying, because that away game looked like a home game. So.
It looked like a home game. But
the home games look like home games for whatever team the Cowboys are playing, but I digress.
That was one time when the 49ers came in here with all them damn red flags looking like a gang.
That's only when they're losing. They have a losing season.
Nobody care about no 49ers. What we do care about is the Cowboys around these parts, and I see a developing situation that I want to get y'all's thoughts on. For me, just with the eyeball test, it looks like Tony Pollard is clearly better than Ezekiel Elliott right now. However, Ezekiel Elliott is making more per game this year than Tony Pollard is making the entire year, which is $850,000 the entire year. He has more rushes than Pollard, but yet Pollard has more yards. He's averaging 7 yards per carry. His Pro Football ranking is even higher than Derrick Henry's. My question is, if you're the Cowboys and you're serious about making a playoff run, do you keep Zeke as your starting horse, even though the backup is clearly outplaying him? Brandon, you take the floor.
All right. Well, on that note, I would say, I wouldn't say like have him take over, but I'll maybe give him more carries throughout the game. Because I mean, like, you're gonna have your down year or whatever. But my thing is, he did all that workout off season stuff where he was slimming down. He supposed to be this faster Zeke and everything. But we have not seen that faster Zeke.
No.
But also, I'm going to back up Pollard because Pollard never was a slouch. Like, he was amazing at Memphis.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, he's no slouch. And he was one of those under-the-radar moves, when they picked him up. And I think that was a smart move on their behalf.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's time to give the guy more reps because he's producing better. Even though he's not getting as many carries as Ezekiel, but he's producing and he's outperforming him.
Outperforming them big time. To that, you say what, T. Sizzle?
Zeke is what's going to put the asses in the seat. I mean,
so you going with
like,
Jerry
mic drop?
Right. So you going with Jerry's theory. He's
no, wait. And Jerry's theory is the only theory that counts. Let's be honest. I'm with Brandon. You put Zeke in, then you give Pollard a shot. If Zeke is not performing, pull him. But Jerry's not going to do that because Jerry's going to say, I paid you this money. You can get out here and work. You're going to perform. That's
you're the number 4 overall pick.
Right. Your name is on front of the programs. Your image is on the ticket.
Is it something with the man bun? Because now that he has a man bun, he done lost his superpowers like Rodgers. Mike,
maybe need to keep the belly.
Business-minded.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Tasha. Go ahead and finish your thought.
No.
Oh, when he was crop top and belly wearing Zeke, he was producing when he was getting his Eric Dickerson on. Belly out. Like Brad said, he don't see him. Zeke looking all tight and he's slow.
Mike, you're Coach McCarthy. You're Coach Mike McCarthy. What do you do this Monday night against the Eagles? A huge division game at home. Your star running back that you paid $90 million to, $50 million guaranteed, is averaging less than 4 yards a carry. Meanwhile, you got a backup out of Orange Mound that's averaging over 7 yards a carry and doing distance runs. What do you do with your playbook, Mike?
I think they're doing fine right now. They're just adjusting depending on who they're playing. And if they know that they're playing against a more stronger front, then they're going to throw out Pollard out there because he's faster. He's way faster. So he's throwing that on the sides or throwing cutback or counters. And honestly, Zeke isn't as fast. He's almost turning into like a power back. And so that's what I would use him for at this moment. Now, if we know that Zeke is going to turn into a power back, then I might start him for most of the first couple of downs in the first half to wear him down and then throw out Pollard out there as a change of pace.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Brandon. With what Mike said, if he's turning into more of a power back, but yet he took off weight to get his speed, then like where do we have here? There was a play last week to where he kind of like went through the A gap and got a couple of yards and then dove to the ground. Did anybody else see that play where it was like he could have bounced it outside and attempted to outrun the secondary, but he didn't. He was like, man, let me just go and get down and get these 4-5 yards. Like, it's almost like it was in his head. Meanwhile, Pollard come in the next play and he's off to the races. So like Jerry, and again, Tasha said it best. What Jerry wants, Jerry gets. That's Jerry's homie. Jerry was probably up with Zeke sitting on the couch between his legs and putting him in the man bun and talking to him, telling him he's all great. Nah, come on, Dallas. It's been 30 years. We ain't got time for y'all to be waiting around on Zeke. We got to get this done now while the Giants are down, while Washington don't have a quarterback. We ain't got time to be playing around with that.
That's the issue. As long as Jerry Jones is, I said that last week, as long as he's in control, they will never see a Super Bowl ever again. You know, but back to what Mike said. Back to what Mike said. In the first game, I don't know if y'all noticed, they went with a 2-back set. Ezekiel playing as the fullback, Colter as the running back. So he made a great point on that, and I think that's where they're going. They're going that route. But my thing is, what was the whole point of getting slimmer, and now you're acting as a fullback?
I mean, I don't think he thought that that's what was going to happen. You know, I thought he really thought he'd lose his weight, he'd be slimmer, but he's playing like he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, he's playing like that check uncleared.
I think most of
my check is in the mail, and hey, I'm good now.
Go ahead, Mike.
Most of these players that kind of phase out through the NFL, they don't adapt very well. So like NFL, you got to be what your team needs in that moment or for the rest of your time there. Right. So if they're saying like, hey, we need you to lose this weight because we need your speed up, and he's like, oh, okay, I got you. So he loses weight, but then his speed is kind of the same with less cuts. Then it's like, okay, well, you can't do what we're asking you to do. And it kind of sucks for the Cowboys because they just spent so much money on him.
You know what? Well, then Zeke's agent is the real MVP for cutting line on Dak and getting his money up front. I think, well, at least if nothing else, he's going to die a very rich man. But I remember Eddie George in 2003. Oh, Eddie. He had started hitting the wall, and he started dipping below 4 yards a carry in 2003. This is when Steve McNair was ascending to be Air McNair. And we had a backup in Chris Brown who would come in and hit off 20, 30-yard runs. And they did basically Mike and Brandon's approach. They kind of used Eddie as we'll just try to wear the defense down, we'll plug along, and then we'll hit him with the big play here. And I think they continued that mode with Chris Johnson later on, who came a few years later. If it's leading the wins, I'm okay with Dallas. But I think this is the last year we see Zeke in a Cowboy uniform. Oh, was that a gasp?
Wow, I didn't expect that one either.
Yeah, I think this is it. All his guaranteed money is paid now, and so like they're gonna have to do him like they did T.O. Now, as we get you ready for the weekend of games, it's time for the hot picks, and we got three notable worthy pickers here. So let's get it started. No, you know what? Let's start with Oklahoma. We're gonna add a game. Oklahoma, West Virginia. Sizzle, we're gonna go clockwise. We're gonna start with.
How you gonna go? I didn't even play it up. What's the over under on that, young buck? What's the over under, Brandon?
I don't know. I didn't
17 and a half.
Look at him nervous. Look at him.
17 and a half. Oklahoma favored.
How many?
17 and a half.
Ooh, that's too many points.
That's too many. I'm going to go with Oklahoma, but I'm not going to take that 17 and a half, though.
So you're just going straight up?
Yeah.
Michigan Mike, you say what? What West Virginia's color zone?
I'm going to be, I know this is going to surprise everyone, but I'm going to go with actually Oklahoma. I think they are getting a lot of this media into their ear. And I think they're going to use this night game at home to kind of show everyone what they can do. And I think this is the game that we actually see what they're supposed to be like.
Okay. Look at Brandon. Brandon's like, woo, good pick, man. Good pick. All right, Brandon, you say what?
I say Oklahoma. I say about 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't go too high. Now, if Spencer go out there and do what he's supposed to, get the deep balls out to Hazelwood, Marvin Mims, our running game get going. Because right
Marvin
now,
Mims, hello, we need you to wake up, Marvin Mims. You're costing my DraftKings team.
I feel like the running game is not getting off to where it needs to be, and they're not utilizing they have 2 running backs that are walk-ons, and they're only depending on Kennedy Brooks out of Mansfield, Texas, and Eric Gray, who came over from Tennessee. To me,
Gray is a monster. I don't know why he's making more time. I said Gray is a monster. He did well at Tennessee.
Yeah, he did. So I don't know if it's just he's just just getting acclimated to the system and everything. But I mean, if they do change the pace of with Jay Knowles, and I'm kind of prone to him because that's my friend. If they utilize him, I feel like they'll be a better team. Now, defense wise, I'm not too worried about the defense, because now I feel like they're doing better, but as far as the run game, those passes, they can't let them get over the top. It's that secondary I think is the issue.
Should be a good one. That'll be tonight on ABC. Get your rabbit ears out. You don't even need cable for that one. Hey, you don't need cable for this one either. We got Michigan versus Rutgers, Big Ten opener for both teams. Who you got, T. Sizzle? Does Michigan cover?
You see the nails. You see the nails.
Okay, so
I guess mentioned my set.
Michigan Mike, does Michigan cover and get it done today?
Oh, heck yeah. They're favored by, 20.5. I say easy 30 points. It's going to look kind of like last week. I'm probably go 40 and 10, something like that. I think we do give up one score because they've been putting our third string in there. Yeah, wow. Definitely.
So it's going to be a boat race. Okay, Brandon, does Michigan cover this afternoon? We're the game before the game.
Yeah, I think the Blue and Maize will get it done. Honestly, I haven't watched any of the Michigan games this year.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Yeah,
Brandon.
I haven't watched.
Brandon,
I just don't really follow. I know somebody that's on the line for Michigan.
Brandon,
stop.
Brandon, stop. I have to correct you from the first sentence. Amazing Blue.
Amazing Blue. Thank you.
Okay, I was gonna give him one Blue and Maize.
But I think it'll be a blowout though.
Okay, now will this be a blowout? We have 2 ranked teams going off in about an hour. We have Notre Dame and Wisconsin kicking off in Chicago, Soldier Field. We're gonna go counterclockwise. Brandon, who you got in this one? Notre Dame or Wisconsin?
I'm not too sold on Notre Dame, so I think Wisconsin will get it done.
Oh, going Big Ten on that one. Michigan Mike, you say what?
I agree with Brandon. However, I wish Wisconsin pulls this out just to leave them for Michigan to make them look better. However, I'm not sold on Wisconsin either, so I'm going to go with Notre Dame on this one.
T. Sizzle.
I know I hate Notre Dame. Notre Shame, as I like to call them.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, but we need Wisconsin to beat them because it'll look good for us. But I think Notre Dame is the better team today.
Okay, so you're rocking with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame beats them as well. But I think it's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be one that you want to definitely get your Saturday slate of football kicked off with.
Well, it's only 6.5, so.
Right. So Vegas obviously agrees with that. What about in the Jerry Dome at 2:30? We have Arkansas ranked versus TAMU, Texas A&M ranked. What say you, T. Sizzle?
I'm gonna go with TAMU because Arkansas just that woo pig. TAMU. I don't even have a reason.
That's why she's going for TAMU.
They got some good meat though.
Right. Mike, who you got? TAMU or Arkansas?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M. I'm not sold on Arkansas at all.
They beat Texas,
right? Where's Texas' ass?
Where's Texas?
Where's the spoon?
Texas is already on the couch eating popcorn. Like, oh, we got to play today.
Got some brisket smoking.
Don't be hard on Texas, Mike.
Texas is. I'm sold that Texas from here on out is just practicing for OU in the Red River shout out. So that's
look them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
Oh, he can't do that no more. Flag on the flag.
You're gonna get fined. You're gonna get fined. You're gonna get fined.
Hey, our celebrity sponsor, Birthday Girl, has a special pick'em for us. Let's do the round table. We have Ohio State versus LSU. Mama State, Mama Cowbell. Who you going with this? LSU or Mississippi State?
Clanger. Even though my little baby Jalen will be cheering for LSU today, she is a cheerleader at LSU. I'm always gonna go Clanger because that's where I found you to for 4 years.
I'm going to watch that since it's an early game now. Michigan, Mike, who you got? Michigan State? I'm sorry, Mississippi State or LSU?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mississippi State. LSU, man, they've been having a hard season, so I think that continues.
Mr. Brandon?
I'm going Ohio State because, LSU, they're still trying to figure out the quarterback situation.
Well, when your coach talk like this,
and your coach talk like he got a mouthful of rocks.
You eat a bump of gravel. Hey. So we got you. We're gonna make that a clean slate for Michigan State. Let's jump over to the pro sector. We have a huge game that's Sunday afternoon. Tampa Bay is going to La to take on the Rams. Undefeated versus undefeated. Brandon, we coming to you first. Who you got? Brady, or are you taking the Rams defense?
I'm going Brady. He didn't sing their defense before, pretty much.
He's like, man, I beat them in the Super Bowl a few years back.
He didn't. It wasn't lights out, but he got the job done. So I'm going Brady against the Rams.
Hey, he doesn't have what's his name? Needle Cheeks no more. What was his name? That just retired.
Who? Edelman.
Old stall ball living there. Needle Cheeks. They don't have him no more. So we'll see. Mike, who you got? Tampa Bay or the Rams?
I'm gonna go with the Rams. I don't think Tampa Bay is gonna go undefeated this season, and I think the Rams have a good chance, just with their D line putting pressure on Brady. And Brady doesn't. I've seen weaknesses in the front line, so I think Rams pull it out.
Sizzle.
I'm going for the Rams. I just want to see Aaron Donald just wreak havoc. I love Aaron Donald.
Oh,
so yeah, I hate Tom Brady. So I'm rooting everybody versus Tom Brady in my opinion.
She hates Tom Brady. Like, one of these days we're gonna have a real deep dive conversation about why she hates Tom Brady so much.
For real.
But she's been consistent with this for years. Like, she ain't rocking with your boy. Let's go to Nashville with this one. We got the Tennessee Titans hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Sizzle, you say what? The road team has won the last 6 in this contest.
Indy.
Let's move on. Mike, who you got?
And so the spread is about 5.5 points for Titans to be favored. I'm gonna go with Titans cover that. They probably win by 10.
Oh God, that really got me nervous now. Okay, Brandon,
you might not like this. I'm going with the Colts. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm going with the Titans.
Oh, okay.
I just have to give you a heart attack real quick.
You did. I thought it was the May James got my heart fluttering like that. Okay.
No, if they play like last week, and
get help from the refs.
Carson Wentz.
Hey, that's okay.
Quarterback.
Carson Wentz has 2 sprained ankles. How do you sprain both your ankles on one play?
That's what I said. I said, how the hell you sprained both ankles? Like, what were you doing?
He needs to leave
laying
the
there
NFL.
like that man on misery.
Like, he's not. To me, he never was NFL material, in my opinion.
I don't believe it. Mike, you a Philly fan. You've seen him up close and personal. What's going on with Carson Wentz? Is he going to be the death of Indianapolis this year?
Yeah, he for sure will. just seeing it, man. He's just one of those quarterbacks that, like kind of Brandon was saying, is he doesn't even look like he wants to be there. He's like, man, I'd rather be at home and be a father. Go be a father then, but you ain't a quarterback.
Who's the backup?
Be a father to your child.
Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett. And
he's
not
any good either. I digress. When Jacoby Brissett was in as the starter, Indy was winning. They pulled him because he got injured.
They beat us with Jacoby too in week 2 years ago in Nashville.
So we could see him.
this year,
could see him today.
Sold on him. And you know, he came from the Patriots.
Oh,
Man.
y'all, I'm nervous now. King, we're going to need 2 out you, King. We're going to need about 2 bills out you. I'm nervous about that one. And on Monday night, the big one, them boys at home against the hated Eagles. Let's start with you since you got on Eagle Green up there, T Sizzle. Who gets it done, the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Oh, I want the Eagles to win. I want the Eagles to win so bad because I just hate Dallas so much. Oh, you know what? And if Mike, if you choose opposite Mike, I'm coming to Dallas and I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna just rock all your t-shirts.
Well, right here so we can go to the fair if you do.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
What? Mike, who you got, Mike?
And you know who I'm picking. I got the Eagles on this one.
Help me out, Brandon. Help me out, D-Town.
Well, you know me, I can't stand the Cowboys. I can't stand them. And you know my boy Jekyll Hyde is quarterback, so
I forgot. You got all kind of ties to the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles.
All I'm gonna say is hold up. We them boys. Zeke gets 100, Pollard gets 100, Dak gets 400. We're gonna do it big on Monday night. We're gonna have Michael Irvin with them white powdery lips going, yeah!
And an afro with that new polish in it.
He gonna have that new growth afro, and he gonna be in the booth with Jerry, like, yeah, like Mike, just hit them corners, right? You know what?
And then we're gonna be on your Facebook saying, I'm just checking in and seeing if you still them boys after
right. I gotta be ready for that meme. Hey, y'all still them boys? I can't stand the Eagles.
You already
always beat us.
You already know. I will send something on Twitter so hard.
Why do they always beat us in Dallas? Man, that crowd is going to be rocking. That's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be a fun Monday night game. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for this week's episode of The Extra Point. On behalf of T Sizzle, Michigan Mike, Brandon Lewis, enjoy the game tonight, sir. We see Kobe out there. We see it. Michigan Mike, get that elbow rested up for bowling Monday. T Sizzle.
The Chitlin Circuit. Chitlin Circuit Bowling League. The Chitlin Circuit.
Yes, we are back. And we will see y'all next week. Y'all be safe out there. Peace. All right, great job, everybody. Look, now I'm
live. We're live. Hot mic.
Hot mic. Wait, thank you for coming on at the last second, Brandon. We appreciate it. To everybody else, we will reconvene soon.